Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome. My name is Chef Katrina. I'm the Director of Client Experience here at Elite Marketing Pro, and I am super excited for our special guest today. We have Mr. Ray Higdon in the house. This is going to be awesome. So, Ray, how are you?
Doing good. I'm trying to pull up our feed thing here so I can see you. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
So,
you're live.
drop my volume. This is odd. But, cool. Yeah, I'm glad to be on here. Thanks for having me. Always fun hanging with the few people.
Yeah, making sure everybody can hear us. Want to make sure we just do a sound check. Everybody hears Bob's on here just saying hi. That's awesome. Very cool. Yep. We're good. We are live. So we want to make this kind of as interactive as possible, Ray, if that's cool with you. But I also want to talk a little bit about, there's something called attraction marketing. And we talk about this. You've been putting this at work for your business for a long time. Really kind of leading with value and helping you build your network marketing business. Can you talk a little bit about that for those that are watching you for the first time and, how you kind of used this attraction marketing to build your network marketing business as you got started?
Yes. I see a few people that are saying that my audio is low, and some say they can't hear me at all. So let me just check my settings here. All right, is that better? Am I louder? Am I loud and proud now?
I hear you. Let me see. Is that helping you guys?
I know there's a delay, so it's a little awkward.
Actually, well, for them, not, yeah. We cannot hear Ray. Ray's audio is low. Keep talking, guys. Let's see if we can hear Ray. We're gonna have some fun with this. Not better.
Not better. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the problem is. This is the same setup I had with Fernie.
Can't hear Ray at all. Hold on. It may be me. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let me try something. Let's see. This is going to be... Oh, now we're okay. It's getting better.
A little bit louder now.
Better.
A little bit louder now.
Better.
So yeah, you'd asked about how I used attraction marketing to build network marketing, or just how I use attraction marketing, period.
So I both. So how did you use it in the beginning? Because I think that was the one thing we have
Yeah.
a lot of our, you're a master blogger and you used that as a skill, which I think is part of the attraction marketing process. So I'm just curious about how you used a blog as a network marketer to build your business and what kind of happened along that journey.
Yeah, for sure. So when I first started, obviously no brand, no one knew me, didn't have an email list, was just starting from scratch. And so I really just bought into the concept of, if I put out content, eventually it would build an audience. And I just kind of bought into that concept. I'm not sure where I originally heard that, because I hadn't really gone through any courses or anything like that, which I wish I would have, because I would have created results even faster. But I just bought into the idea of the long-term play of, if I provided value in education and teaching into a marketplace, it would eventually get traction and attract people to me. So I knew this was a long-term play, and I also knew that I wasn't going to get a lot of results from it quickly or whatever. So I had to get results from somewhere else. So, I started the whole process by doing a lot of prospecting, but I also every single day was creating content that I was hoping would attract people to me as well. And I think there's several lessons in this, in that a lot of times, yesterday I was on the call with one of our coaching clients who's a $1 million producer, and he is very, very good at building his network marketing business, and he wants to get better at building his personal brand. And so he's very busy. He's got teams, he's got people demanding his time and everything, which is common of a lot of 6 and 7 figure earners in network marketing. And the key, what I told him yesterday is I'm like, dude, you have to understand that there's never going to be a point in your life where you're not busy. You have to create content anyway. You have to create content on those days that you're busy. Being busy is not an excuse for you not to pump value into the marketplace to help build your personal brand. And I think that's one of the key takeaways is you can't be too busy to create content, because if you understand that creating content is leverage and can help you build an audience and a following, then the busier you are, the more important it is for you to do it. Okay. But another lesson in my story here is I wasn't waiting. I think a lot of people, they hear a concept around attraction marketing and they're like, oh my God, that sounds awesome. And I totally want to do that. And so they focus on that, and they don't prospect, they don't go to meetings, they stop doing all the things that maybe was working for them or was about to work for them, and they stop doing all that. And so they look at the results they're getting from attraction marketing, which aren't typically fast. It's not normal. It's not usually fast unless there's a special circumstance. If you already have a following, or if you have, like a really successful story, then attraction marketing will probably work, fairly quick for you. But, in the meantime, it's always about how can you get results right now while also keeping an eye on the long term. And that's what I was doing. So I was going for 20 no's a day, prospecting wise, but also every single day creating a piece of content to hopefully attract more people to me.
So when you talk about content, what you were creating, what kind of content? Because I know that's a big question too. It's like, what kind of content? What do I write about? Like, I'm brand new. I have no idea what this looks like. How do I write content?
Yeah, sure. It's the biggest misconception around creating content is a lot of people think that they need to be an expert already. Like I'm going to become, I'm going to, crush it and get a bunch of results, then I'll create content. And that's a problem because, it's a misalignment. You don't have to have impressive results to start helping people. You don't have to have impressive results to start sharing things that you're learning. And, it's always awesome to me that if you can really tap into, most of humanity is not comfortable, excited, or want to be salespeople. But on the flip side, most people want to be educators. Like, I can go to, one of my family members who couldn't sell anything and ask them, hey, teach me how you do that thing, or teach me, hey, you watched an infomercial. What was that about? And they just go on and on and on because we love to educate. Most people love to teach people things, love to educate people. And so I encourage you to tap into your education genes, which are in most people. And you lead with education, you lead with value, you lead with that, not your big fancy resume or not your big trophies or anything like that, because that's what people really care about. If I started marketing or opportunity seekers or internet marketers, affiliate marketers, are you wanting to attract people who are, real adamant about, a certain sports team or have, love Maltese puppies or, whatever. So you focus on who is it that you're wanting to attract, and then what education would they be interested in? What problems do they have? What solutions do they desire? What do they struggle with? What keeps them awake at night? What are some new revelations in the in the marketplace that maybe they need to be aware of, right? So, if you are someone that is, talking about, you're building an audience of people that love wine, right? Wine enthusiasts, and there's a new aerator that comes out. Well, maybe you talk about it. Maybe you do a review of, hey guys, I just, tested this aerator against this aerator and blah, 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 blah. And so you don't have to have an impressive resume to do any of those things that I just talked about. What you have to do is you have to, just be willing to educate people, to be willing to share information that you're learning or that you're, you're tapping into that will help people out.
I love it. One of the questions Betsy had was, are you going after multiple target audience? Like, say you're a network marketer and you're in the health and wellness, then you're kind of learning about how to market. Like, are you focused on one or the other, or what does that look like?
Yeah, it's a good question. And, I would suggest, when you really understand, branding isn't just fancy logo, tagline, slogan, professional photos. It's also positioning. And you could definitely argue, to me, it's not even really an argument. Positioning is actually more important than being graphically and aesthetically pleasing. Positioning is what slice of the pie do you hold in the mind of your prospect? And so, there are some companies that are so good at that we start to reference the thing that they do or are as their actual company name. So, for example, it's Copy Machine, not Xerox, right? But see, they're so well positioned that we actually view any copy machine that's a Xerox, right? Facial tissue is not Kleenex. Kleenex is a company brand, right? So, but they're so well positioned that we view anyone's facial tissue as Kleenex, right? Most people do, at least. And so positioning is actually more important than branding. And the risk you run when you attempt to, become an authority, or you attempt to pump value into multiple different niches or multiple categories, you run the risk of looking like you don't know anything. And so I'm not saying you can't, right? Because you can. You look at people like like digital marketers, a good example of that. They have Survival Life, and you don't really know that it's digital marketer. I know Perry has the candlesticks or whatever those things are, but you don't really know it's him. So you can do it kind of like Gillette has, actually. You can do it where you're the controller of different brands. We're talking a much more scaling kind of attitude, a much bigger kind of picture thinking person when you're talking about multiple brands. So I'm going to assume that, someone asking that question is, the one person show and is just wanting to get some results. And if that's the case, then I suggest you pick one, and you pick the one not based on what you think works. You pick the one based on what can you talk about the longest. If you pulled up a chair to the bar and someone asked you a question and they gave you free reign to talk, which one would you rather talk about? Is it health and wellness? Is it network marketing? Is it skincare? Is it network marketing, right? So which one would you rather talk about? Because that's the one that you'll find yourself wanting to create more content. And I know that, everyone, they start their marketing journey thinking that they're just going to do it and they're just going to make it happen and they're going to, stay true to the game and be consistent every day. But then reality sets in, and 11 days later, they're like, oh my God, what do I talk about? Well, what's more important than what you think works is what you will actually stick with. You see, I really enjoy helping educate network marketers. I enjoy the profession. I love the profession, and I love network marketers, and I love raising the profession level of network marketing. So that's what I talk about. And, if there came a point where something else was, I just totally love that more or something like that. I'd probably blog about Sabrina every day, but I'm not sure that would build as large of a business. That's my daughter. But, so you think about what can you talk about the longest? What can you be the most consistent about? Because the truth is anything works. Anything works. I guarantee you, I could figure out how to build a 7-figure business with basket weaving. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. If I was just consistent enough to pump value into the marketplace, to realize aligned products, right? So what would the basket weaver want? Like what education would they need? What kind of courses? Who could I team up with to do interviews and collaborations, right? Basket weaving, definitely $1 million blog right there, if I want it. So if you know that anything works, then focus on what you want. What do you want to talk about? How do you want to be known? Who do you want to be known as? And so focus on the thing, on whatever it is that you really love and truly, fires you up and gets you excited. That's where you go. And if you are thinking the whole, I'm big enough to create, totally different channels of content, I can tell you I'm not. I actually tried keeping up 2 blogs, and I've done 5,000 blogs in the last 7 years. I'm kind of a freak. I can't do 2 blogs. Can't do it. I tried it, couldn't do it. But if you feel that you can, the only rule is you need to have them in separate channels. And so you can't have one blog. And I say can't. I guess that depends on your goals. Could you technically? Of course you could. You could talk about the ORAC score of blueberries one day and making money on Craigslist the next day. You just won't build a big audience and you won't make a lot of money, right? So you can technically, you just won't make a lot of money. If you're going to go that route, or at least attempt it, because you think, you know what, this Ray guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, I can do it, then you just want to make sure that there's totally separate channels. They don't interlink. They can't see that you're the one over here and you're the one over here, at least easily. And that's how you would do it if you absolutely wanted to test that theory.
Awesome. I have a quick question. I know we're almost out of time here, but this is a really great question. I get this one a lot. It is a video blog just as powerful as a regular blog in terms of longevity? That's a great question.
Yeah, totally. So here's my thoughts on that. It kind of depends. Okay. SEO wise, the odds are in your favor if you have more text. Okay, that is that's the deal. However, you can build a massive following and a massive audience with just a video blog. My suggestion to you is, if you don't like writing, and I'll go both ways. So why do I like video? I like video because that is the way that you're able to unless you're Tolkien or Rowling or some kind of amazing, author that can just spin a tale that's just so captivating and amazing. Unless you're that, I failed English in high school, so that's not me. But unless you're that, the best chances for you to actually connect with someone across the digital divide is through video, right? I've had people, come up to me and just be like, "Oh my God, you changed my life," tears running down, and they've never met me, but they got the connection, through the video, which is really powerful. So video definitely, again, unless you're just an amazing author, a writer, should I say, video does help with that connection. However, if you have more text, you do increase your chances of getting ranked on the search engines, of getting more visitors from Google. So why not have a mix of both? What we do often is I'll shoot videos in our studio, or I'll shoot, different, sometimes Facebook Lives and things like that, and we'll get them transcribed. And then, I have someone that will just edit the transcription, but you obviously could do that. I did it for years. I did every single blog for 7 years. It's only been the last month or so that I've had someone else doing that for me. But you can get it transcribed by rev.com. It's $1 a minute. And you can just take some of the text, if you don't like writing, and just edit it so it looks like writing, not talking, and edit it, smack it on the blogs. So, if you're willing to do a video, why not have some text there too by just getting it transcribed?
That's awesome. I get that question a lot, and that's a beautiful answer. Absolutely great answer. I always love talking with you. So I know you've got a lot.
We talk a lot nowadays.
Yeah. Well, and this is a topic we can talk on forever. I really there's so many nuances to the world of building authority, blogging, and what you're up to. So there's some great questions in here, and I know I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you've got a lot going on. You're had some videos released recently. Is that still available to our audience to check out?
Yeah, we have a couple things actually. I got interviewed. I had a cool interview with this guy Bob Circosta, who's he's actually sold over $1 billion on the Home Shopping Network. So it was total honor. It's totally cool. But yeah, we have that video, which if someone wanted to watch it, they can actually watch it at rayhigdon.com/great. That's GREAT. Or we also have 3 videos that I shared, I think last week on the Daily Dose of Awesome. 3 videos on marketing, just to kind of help you wrap your mind around how to be a better marketer and a smarter marketer. And you can check those out at the3minuteexpert.com. It's THE 3minuteexpert.com. So there's 4 free videos for you that you can check out, and hopefully that'll help some people out, and cool stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, Ray, so much for taking time out of your day. I know this is quick. You guys are awesome. There's been a lot of feedback. You're amazing. They love seeing you on here. We love having you here with Elite Marketing Pro, and you're you're just like a friend in your family. So
Oh,
it's
thank
awesome to
you.
hang out with you. So thank you so much again for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. This is our 15 minutes of Daily Dose of Awesome hosted by Elite Marketing Pro, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. Thanks, Ray.
Bye, guys.